FIFA just announced that the first wave of World Cup 2026 tickets will be going on sale September 10th. Now, hopefully I can get my own tickets, but it got me thinking, what do I want to see when I go to my first World Cup game in 2026? So I came up with my 7 storylines or scenarios that I want to see in the World Cup 2026. At number 7, starting out, it's going to be Germany and Brazil to make the World Cup semifinals. Now, these are both great nations, 2 of the greatest soccer or football countries in the world. Brazil with the most World Cup victories ever. Germany tied for second with Italy. And they both have not lived up to the expectations that comes with being one of the best countries in the world for soccer and football. They have not lived up to it lately in these last World Cups and just pretty much all international tournaments. So I want to see both of them make it to the semifinals. I would love it to see especially Neymar to finally get to the semifinals in the World Cup. At this stage of his career, it would help out his legacy so much, and I just want to see him one more time at the top, playing his best. Hopefully he can stay healthy, but I want to see Germany playing well as well, just for both teams. And I didn't mean I put them in the list, and I started thinking about that 7-1 game. So I didn't want to start up any drama with that, but that was a very fun game to watch. If that happened again in the semifinals, hey, I'd love that. So I want to see Germany and Brazil back in the semifinals. I want to see them be great again. At number 6, it's going to be Holland winning the Golden Boot. Now, of course, for Holland to do this, Norway needs to get pretty far into the World Cup. They didn't even qualify last World Cup, but I would love to see it for a smaller country like Norway, not known to be a soccer powerhouse. So I would love to see them go far, and I would love to see it for Holland. I know people don't have as high of expectations for him right now because last season he didn't live up to as well as he had been playing previously, but he still played great, and he's still definitely one of my favorite players to watch in all of soccer. So I would love to see Holland get the Golden Boot and take Norway far in the World Cup 2026. Now, number 5, my 5th favorite scenario that I would love to see happen is for England to make it to the finals, the final of the World Cup, and lose. I think it'd be pretty interesting to see the curse linger for England. I don't know what they did, what the players did, or what the leader did, or some member of the team did maybe 50 years ago or whatever it is, how long it is now, almost 60 years ago, to curse them. But I would love to see it keep going. I think it's a pretty interesting narrative. Imagine what happens if England makes it to the final and loses. There's gonna be gotta be some documentary of how England became cursed in the World Cup. So I'd love to see England make it all the way and lose. Now at number 4, it's going to be Italy winning the World Cup. I named them previously in some of the best soccer football countries of all time. 4 World Cup wins, but they haven't even qualified the last 2 World Cups. There hasn't been a more disappointing nation in the last 2 World Cups. Italy has been the most disappointing by far. It's been a huge fall from grace for Italy, and I want to see Italy go back to the final and win the World Cup, take the soccer football world over again. And Italy needs it. If Italy can win this World Cup, all the sorrow, all the disappointment, all the anger of the last 2 World Cups will be forgotten. But if Italy doesn't even get far in this World Cup, it will be more disappointment and doubt about the future of the Italian national team. So Italy needs to make it far. They of course have to qualify. If they don't qualify, I would be astonished. I would be very surprised. I mean, what a story that would be. That might make it into the most interesting list if it didn't happen. If that wasn't something that happened so early into the World Cup. But I want to see Italy win the World Cup and take back over in the soccer football world. Now at number 3, the third most interesting scenario that I want to see happen in the World Cup 2026 is Ronaldo versus Messi. It doesn't have to be a final. It doesn't have to be in the semifinal. I just need it in the quarterfinal, the round of 16. Now, they did add they added more teams to the World Cup this year, so it's gonna be bigger. There's gonna be a round of 32 knockout stage. But I want to see it on a more, of course, every knockout game in the World Cup is very meaningful and substantial. But I want to see it farther into the World Cup. Just please, at least the round of 16. I want to see a Messi versus Ronaldo game one final time. Messi versus Ronaldo, the biggest stakes in the world, the biggest sporting event in history. That might be, it's got to be one of the top 10 biggest events ever if that happens. It would be amazing. Even if you hate one side, if you act like you hate one side because you love the other, you would love to watch this game. It would be one of the biggest sporting events ever. I would love to see it. I need to see one last go from the two. Just admit it, whoever you're a fan of, the two, some of the greatest players of all time. There got to be at least in your top five. One of the two, both of them, the two greatest players ever, or at least up there in soccer and football. Now, number 2, going away from the old guys, going away from the greatest of all time, and going to the young, I want to see a France versus Spain final. Now, this is a game where if it happened earlier in the knockout stages, everyone would feel like this should have been saved for last. This should be happening in a semifinal or final. This is that meaningful of a game. You have the next generation of soccer and football. Mbappe, where he was kind of in Yamal's situation into the 2018 World Cup, being so young. But he did not have the same expectations that Yamal has for this World Cup. So a lot more pressure on Yamal. And it's crazy for me to watch. In the 2018 World Cup, I was a lot younger than Mbappe. And now I'm older than Yamal, watching him be a serious contender to be the best player in the World Cup and to lead his team to a World Cup final and to lead his team to a World Cup victory. So please subscribe so I can catch up to Yamal. I got a long way to catch up, and hit the like button. But I would love to see Yamal versus Mbappe, France versus Spain, the two favorites to win the World Cup, and it would just be the powerhouse battle. It would be an amazing watch for the future of soccer, the future of football. And one of these guys is going to really cement himself as this generation's GOAT. If Mbappe wins this, if Mbappe were to beat Spain in the final and win it, after having a hat-trick in the last final, and after having the 2018 World Cup, Mbappe is very clearly far and ahead the best player of this generation. And if Yamal wins it, you're talking about how many more years until Yamal is looked at better than Messi? How many more years until Yamal is looked at better than Ronaldo? Is Yamal already better than Mbappe, already greater in all-time rankings than Mbappe? But even without those two, I mean, this would be such a fun, exciting match just because Spain and France are so good right now. And another storyline could be, how good is Dembele? Where is Dembele on the best French players of all time? Let's say he outperforms Mbappe in the World Cup. 4 years ago, you would think that's crazy, but now that's something that you could believe would happen. That's something that really could happen. So what about if Dembele was the best player for France? If Dembele won the Golden Boot? If Dembele was the best player in the World Cup? Then you're talking about, is Dembele creeping up on Mbappe for all-time French rankings? So there's so many fun stories that could come out of this matchup. But Spain versus France, the two favorites of the World Cup 2026, I would love to see them in the final. And now it's very hard to beat that matchup of the two best looked at teams right now. But there's one thing, there's one scenario, there's one story that I would love to see more, and that would be more interesting than an Mbappe and Yamal final, and it would be Ronaldo winning the World Cup. The GOAT. The GOAT. Ronaldo gets his World Cup win. We need to see it. Let's go. Messi fans, get out of here. We need to see Ronaldo win the World Cup. Now, it's looking like if Portugal did win the World Cup, Ronaldo might not be the main star of that campaign. But if he was, and if Ronaldo won the Golden Boot, or had a big game in the knockout stages, or had a goal in the final to win the World Cup for Portugal, and took Portugal to win the World Cup, that'd be the best World Cup of all time. And that'd be the best performance from an aging, old, 40-year-old player. That would be the best performance in the history of all sports. And Ronaldo would cement himself as what I already know as being the GOAT. And I would love to see it. Portugal do it. They need to do it for Jota. That's such a sad thing what happened. So it'd be beautiful if Portugal could win it for him. But no matter whatever Portugal does, for whatever amount they win, it will be for him, and it will be great. That storyline, and that's what's going to be made about the storyline. But I think what they should focus more on is the less of the sadness of that, but how Portugal is going to play for him and keep on his legacy. And I would love to see, for so many reasons, Portugal win the World Cup. But as staying on the most interesting topic, it would be so interesting to see Ronaldo win his World Cup, be a significant part of the team, and cement himself as the GOAT, take over Messi officially. I already know in my heart, and I would love to see it. So let me know what you would like to see in the World Cup this year, and are you going to buy your tickets next month? Thank you so much for supporting the Sandbar Playbook. My name is Aidan Egizio. If you want to watch another video, you can click here. If you want to subscribe, you can click right here. So thank you so much. Make sure you comment what you thought, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.